Good afternoon and welcome everybody to the Dota 2 Champions League. We have Power Rangers facing up against Alliance in a 2-game series here. Should be a lot of fun. We're going to jump straight into it because we actually have a lot to talk about between these two teams. So real quickly, I got to introduce my co-caster. Of course, Rio Burrows is going to be joining me for this cast, as well as I've got Cart Dota on the stats. Rio, what's going on, buddy? Rio? Uh-oh. I lost Rio. That's okay. While I try and, apparently, our call fell. While I try and pick him up right here, we do have Power Rangers, who are going to be having a slight change-up. Okay, so first of all, we just got done with an MLG match of theirs where they had a 2-game series. They won the first game, but they ended up losing the second game, primarily due to some connection issues. But they also have a stand-in, which I'm kind of interesting. U4X, this guy, I'm not sure what we want to call him. Apparently, this guy also goes by FN. You may recognize that name. He's stood in for a couple of CIS teams before. He is actually a core player for Power Rangers in the recent matches that he's played with them anyway. He played a mid-Lena both times for their 2 games in MLG. While Alliance, of course, if you guys don't know, has Bucking Mad now completely joined them and has been looking pretty good, I think, with Mad. I think it's something that really has been lacking for Alliance is a sense of direction, a sense of purpose in their drafting and their strategy. And I think Mad definitely brings that. He may not be the most technically strong player when it comes to end game, but he is, I think, one of the better players when it comes to just raw strategy and draft. So it should be a good time. It sounds like I've got Rio Burrows now on the line. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
How was your day yesterday?
My day was fantastic. I had the MSI Dragon battle that I casted where he took a dump on everybody in that tournament, man. They crushed it with some really weird drafting. It was a lot of fun to watch. Of course, you joined me for some of that, but the finals you completely missed out on, which he still kept quite as interesting.
Well, that's good. I went to see. I think I tuned in for like the last part of it, and I forgot everything that happened. Though I'm so sad. I feel like my brain just like is got distant after I left you.
That's okay. We've got some fresh Dota on the table now, Rio. So you don't need to think about it.
Fresh meat,
anything.
Man.
Yep, fresh.
Let's do it.
Fresh meat just for you. So we've got Power Rangers picking up an SF as well as a Vengeful Spirit and now Naga Siren. For the PR team, while Alliance went for the early Lena and Earthshaker. Again, as I was saying before, U4X actually played the mid Lena for Power Rangers last game, but apparently not going to get his hands on it this time around. And the Lena is quite strong versus the SF in lane. Dazzle is going to be picked up as well as the Bristleback for Alliance. So a nice little dual lane for them, and all they need now is a strong carry. They've got some pretty good laning phase here for Alliance. The Lena should beat out the SF, especially with the roaming Earthshaker. The Dazzle Bristleback is one of the strongest dual off lanes out there, and then we just still need to see a carry for Alliance for that last pick. But overall, I'm feeling pretty confident about Alliance's draft. It's pretty straightforward, but it does bring a lot of strength in the early game, and if they get a nice hard carry, they'll have pretty much every single part of the game kind of covered. They'll always have a certain amount of strength in the game. A very well-rounded lineup.
Yeah, right now Power Rangers taking a flashback to TI 3 days, Naga Siren support. I wanted to see this for the longest time again, and I'm surprised it hasn't been picked up because we've seen plenty of Shadow Fiends combinations. I mean, you can see they coupled it up now with the Disruptor, and well, that's going to be a kinetic field into Static Storm, and they don't have reserve time. I mean, Yules can maybe dodge most of the Static Storm afterwards in the Shadow Fiend ulti if they time it perfectly, but they have Dazzle for the Grave and the Earthshaker for the Fissure, but Shadow Fiend should be getting a BKB here, and well, I don't know. I just like the idea, but if they can't execute it, then yeah, I think Alliance are just gonna get too much Bristleback with the Dazzle dual lane, as you were saying, and Lena mid. It should be relatively easy for them, and the Earthshaker can always put pressure on the Shadow Fiend too. And you have to note that Shadow Fiend is on the dire side this time, so he can be ganked really easy. So I'm kind of worried for Power Rangers surviving this early game right now.
So I kind of got stuck on like the first part. You said Naga Siren support. You actually think this is a Naga support and not Venge and Disruptor?
Oh yeah, I'm
Really?
kind of
So
crazy.
you think
But
Vengeful Spirit is
no,
going to
no,
be
no,
a core here? What?
no. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Okay.
It's Naga core because of the disruptor, but I really
10
wanted to see it.
seconds remaining.
I just don't think it's gonna happen now
Yeah.
that yeah.
Okay.
I guess I
That's fine. You kind of threw me for a loop there when I see
No,
the
no, yeah,
Disruptor on the
disruptor
table,
mid
and I'm
doesn't
just
make
like,
sense. But
hey,
disruptor
well,
could
you
go
know,
mid.
Power Rangers back in the day, they ran the Vengeful Spirit aggro carry core, man. That wasn't that was something we saw quite a bit. But yeah, Naga Siren as the one position here. Do you put Naga Siren mid versus Alina, or do you still keep the SF there? I think both of those heroes lose, right? And the better hero would be SF mid, correct?
Better SF is mid. Naga will be hurting though because she doesn't get the levels, and then Shadow Fiend
Yeah.
always needs to go back to the jungle to farm. So you need Shadow Fiend to get level 6 or 7 faster. And so let's see, Alliance here. What do you think they'll get? They need a carry hero. What's great against these heroes? I think Slark could maybe work, but you always have to be worried about the Disruptor glimpse back. You can't really stop it unless you get a BKB. And
what if the
you can
SF
shadow
gets
dance.
ahead, you know, when he gets a Yule Scepter? Whoa, Lone Druid. All right, we don't have Bulldog here, but they're going to pick up
Bulldog.
they're going to pick up the signature Alliance hero anyway. So, all right. So that's going to be is it an offlane Lone Druid with a Bristleback now taking over the one position, defensive tri-lane around him with Earthshaker kind of roaming?
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, Lone Druid off
10
lane,
seconds
he'll be able to
remaining.
pull the creep wave still. And Bristleback, they'll just tank him up in the
5
bottom lane, just
seconds
get him
remaining.
easy levels and easy experience. I like the idea. Bristleback carry, I think it should be enough. And if
Reserve
they can put
time.
enough pressure out, let the Lone Druid get his level 6 up, and they're gonna need to have 3 or 4 heroes just to kill a Bristleback or a Lone Druid to get this game. That's their idea for Alliance. And so that creates enough space for Lina and Earthshaker to just roam around the map and get everything done while they're just, making space around the map. So I really love the draft coming from Alliance. They really don't want to fight head on until they get maybe 2 or 3 items. And then they're going to be almost impossible to kill.
Well, Power Rangers now just looking for their off-lane hero. What's really left? We got a Clockwork, Centaur, Timbersaw, and they're going to go for the Timbersaw. Pretty good hero versus Bristleback later on to the game, of course, that taking away his strength attributes, all the pure damage, usually fares pretty well versus the Bristleback. So I kind of like that pickup. I kind of wondering, though, I think Power Rangers got too greedy with their lineup. I thought Clockwork, solely because that's a hero that doesn't need a whole lot of farm, and, can't shut down Lina and such. Not greatest versus Lone Druid or Bristleback, but can at least go for the Lina and the supports. Timbersaw requires a large amount of farm, and so does the SF, and so does the Naga Siren. I'm feeling like this lineup from Power Rangers is a bit too greedy.
I like it more than the Clockwork, though, in my opinion, because if you think about it, Power Rangers, they want to stall as long as they can, so they need another deep pusher. They need to wait for
10
Shadow Fiend to get his
seconds
BKB.
remaining.
They need to wait for Naga to get her Radiance and bots. And they need
5
somebody to
seconds
defend the high
remaining.
ground when they push. So if you get a Timbersaw, maybe a fast Ags or Bloodstone into Ags, then you can hold the high ground pushes that are going to be coming in from Alliance. Because Alliance, their timing is, if this isn't over by 40 minutes, then Power
Prepare
Rangers,
for
they
battle.
have easy way to rat their way to victory in this game, in my opinion. But
Okay.
we'll have to see.
All right, well, guys, we have game number 1 now on our hands of this 2-game series between Alliance and Power Rangers. Power Rangers going to be starting off here. Interesting build on D2CL. Double tangos and Ring of Protection for that early Ring of Bacillus in lane, I can only presume. And it looks like they are actually running an aggro try here. They're going to be putting the Timbersaw up in the safe lane and having the mid SF and an aggro minus armor tri lane, essentially, between the VS and the Naga Siren. Ryu, is this just completely to dodge the attempted aggression of the Bristleback and Dazzle, or do you think they can actually shut down this Lone Druid?
Maybe they're just
30
thinking,
seconds to battle.
yeah, they can probably shut them down. But it's kind of weird in my mind, too. Maybe each of them are just like thinking, hey, we're going to try to contest each of these runes and try to kill somebody here. That could be another mindset in the early stages of the game, because if they get 1 kill bottom lane, then they could maybe rotate up.
All right, guys, the horn's going to blow. We do have the bottom rune going to be taken by Power Rangers quite easily. Top rune going to be completely uncontested. Pycat grabs his. The SF grabs the respecting Dire rune. And pretty normal setup. We do have, I'm a bit concerned about bucking Mad's rotations into this middle lane. The SF already loses up against Alina, but then when you throw an Earthshaker roaming in as well, I feel like this lane is just going to be so hard for this stand-in of Power Rangers.
Yeah. And the Earthshaker Mad's always going to be around too. Him not going for the bottle first might be hurting him.
Yeah, he actually went for the Wraithband build. That's interesting. That's oftentimes, as you were saying, when we see Shadow Fiends facing up against snipers or other mid heroes that are tough to beat, such as Lina. Oh, yeah,
he missed his light strike away. He would have died there.
Oh.
Pycat kind of missed the ball there.
Fortunately, the potion will keep the SF up, and he does have a large wave coming in, so he'll be okay for now. This aggro tri-lane facing up against Loda's Lone Druid with Ake sitting behind him. Can't see too many opportunities for them to really get a kill, which then just leaves our top lane, which is not so bad for Cheshire Cat, at least. That's the one lane that I think should win for Power Rangers, is the Timbersaw versus the Bristleback. But even that isn't that much of a convincing win, I would say. Bristleback can kind of survive through that lane, and the lack of armor early from a Timbersaw actually means the Quills are pretty deadly. Rotation around from behind, the attempted go here on the SF, who's just feeling the constant aggression of what is essentially a dual lane now, with Mad sitting on the SF at all times.
There's just no love in this middle lane at all.
No.
And yeah, with Bulldog being, or not Bulldog, jeez, it's gonna take forever for me to get used to.
Bulldog's watching too. Bulldog is here.
He is watching. But
I mean, there's the stun. They're gonna finally get it. Perhaps Pycat unable to get that stun out. They are gonna try and catch up, maybe across. Oh man, he's just gonna throw out another Dragon Slave. Another Dragon Slave. Is it going to be enough damage? Oh, no. 20 HP is just enough. And unfortunately, Mad didn't have enough mana for another Fissure. So the SF once again survives through that middle lane. J4 sees the opportunity to perhaps get some damage onto Pycat, but doesn't take it. And is going to wait for the SF to come back and try and make good use of this Invis rune. And I swear, if they manage to get Pycat the first blood, like if they manage to kill Pycat and get the SF the first blood, it's going to be amazing for Power Rangers after so much pressure being put on the SF.
It's going to be close.
Yeah, the Invis is running out. SF is running forward now, but Pycat, he's sitting kind of far back. They're going to have to make the go right now. Pycat comes forward, stun one, nuke one, and they do have another raise. Euphoric's trying to get a little bit more damage out, but unfortunately misses the opportunity. Now J4 is going to be cleaned up as the turnaround Dragon Slave from Pycat punishes him quite heavily. Top lane, Nikwa getting quite low. They do have enough for a wand and another attempt with the Imp Chain, but that's not going to happen. Now the SF dies as well as Mad rotates back over to middle lane, and they get him and Power Rangers. Again, I couldn't really see how PR would win the laning phase, and sure enough, Alliance are quite handedly taking the lead in the first 3 minutes of this game.
Yeah, they really messed up that the Shadow Fiend attacked the creep, and he didn't go for like a triple raise or anything. Instead, he just attacked him. If he had went for a triple raise, that would have been an easy kill on the Lina, in my opinion, or at least a double raise, and then try to dodge the light striker away. But instead, he just did a medium raise, then he attacked the creep, and then he didn't even get off his raise. But I mean, you know that Mad's always going to be here in the mid lane. He was showing himself for about the last 3 minutes here, just camping the Shadow Fiend. So he's going to come in and rotate, and it was another easy kill.
Okay, going to be forced back. The haste rune is picked up by Disruptor, but again, I'm not really sure what they're going to do with that one. Top lane, we soon have Cheshire Cat. Well, he's level 5 right now, but as soon as he gets that level 6, there could be the potential kill on Nikwa, so we kind of need to keep our eyes on that. Bottom lane, they're going to go for Loda here with the haste rune. They've got him too. He's only level 4. He is a super easy kill. They don't even need to use the stun from J4 in order to get that kill. So nice rotation. Finally, Power Rangers get something out of that aggro try. Meanwhile, Pycat completely zoning out the SF now that he's got that early advantage, and he knows it. He's got a full level and a half on the Shadow Fiend. He could just play super up in the SF's face, and there's not much that's going to punish him, especially with the vision of the two supports in the bottom lane.
This is going to be interesting to see how much Cheshire Cat can do in this game now, because his other lanes, I mean, they're getting free farm bottom lane with the Naga, but this Lina is going to be all mid lane. U4 X. Whoa, what?
Dropped a little low though, but Snako, he's actually already used his glimpse earlier, but they will still get the kill on Pycat. Big turnaround there. As now the SF, unfortunately, had to share the experience of that kill with the Disruptor. As he like getting that kill, and he's still a full level behind the Lina, which is pretty disturbing. Lena's going to come back, pick up level 6 real quick, and may actually be able to get another kill on the SF. Meanwhile, top lane has just been a constant back and forth between the Bristleback and the Timbersaw, both of them being brought quite low multiple times. The Timbersaw is winning the matchup. As you can see, the Bristleback is 22-4 compared to the 30-5 on Cheshire Cat. It looks like Cheshire Cat has actually managed to force Nikwa to head back to base. Well, do we have a bottle? Yep, a bottle.
Yep,
Pick up from Timbersaw.
I mean, it was a really good pickup in my mind in this 1v1 situation where Nikwa picked up the Basilius, else he wouldn't be able to spam out Cheshire Cat. So that was a nice heads-up play.
Pycat, this could be another kill. They don't actually have a glimpse. The stun goes out. Pycat, the last nuke. Nope, the heal from Ake will make sure he survives. And the Illusion also picked up by the Dazzle. Now D2CL comes in, being chased out by the Lone Druid, who is level 5, so there's a chance for the root, and will manage to get it. Ake.
Use your images.
Yeah, nice images goes out in order to dodge some of that incoming damage. D2CL is tanky enough to survive through all that.
I think he was just trying to use his images to dodge the Earthshaker stun. That's why he was holding it for so long.
Yeah.
I was like, why is he not using, why not? But the heal bomb could have almost killed him too. Oh, okay. Top lane, there's 6 stacks on. This could be. There might be a go top, especially with Venge coming around.
Yeah, you got a Timbersaw with maxed out Whirling Death that does so much damage by itself, and if you manage to get a stun on that Bristleback, he's pretty much guaranteed dead. The strength attributes being taken away by Whirling Death, and then the loud time of Chakram. Oh, Nikwa runs forward. There's that opportunity. They've got this kill well in hand, especially with Cheshire Cat lining up. Actually does magic damage instead of pure. He could have actually hit the trees as well, but didn't really feel the need to, and they will get that kill quite easily. 2-3, 7 minutes in. And Power Rangers now rotating things up as they can no longer put pressure on Loda, it seems, with the 2 supports from Alliance kind of hovering around the bottom lane. Plus, Loda now has that level 6, so he's a lot tankier. Middle lane, stun onto U4X. He's going to be taken out by a Laguna Blade as Seneko tried to get the opportunity for the SF to pick off the Lina once again, but it turned sour with the Earthshaker sitting right there, ready to go.
Yeah, note this ward middle lane, it doesn't give really enough vision in my opinion, so placing it here doesn't really help when the Earthshaker just can come in from the right bottom, the right ramp, or even a little bit, and then he has enough range still, so it's not really a good ward placement in my opinion.
That's why most wards are like this position, right? Very aggressive on the side of the enemy. So
he's more worried about the Earthshaker flanking him there.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Pycat does have a DD rune, actually. So even though he's a bit low on mana, he's still got plenty of right-click damage if they manage to get another gank. Cheshire Cat is level 8, and it's kind of interesting. Did you notice he actually went for the... he's going to try and kill the bear.
Bottom.
Yeah, that's nice. That's actually a really good kill if he can get it. Should be able to with the last bit of damage, 300 gold right there. It cost him his whole entire mana pool, but well worth it, I think, in order to take out the bear once.
2 entangle?
He gets away. Top lane, Nikwa playing aggressive. He's got 2 supports behind him, smoked up and ready to go. So they're hoping to get a gank. Pycat activates that DD rune. But no kill to be had here. They're just waiting for Power Rangers. It seems like Power Rangers know what's up, though. They're playing very, very conservative around Nikwa. They are not trying to push into him at all, nor should they. Naga Siren is almost picking up that level 6. That ultimate is obviously going to be a huge factor in keeping the Naga Siren alive through these ganks.
And Disruptor's keeping up with the levels too, so she's almost, or I don't even know, he's almost level 6 here. I don't think it's a girl, so. But the big problem for me right now is, Lena's giving a lot of space. Shadow Fiend did go back into the jungle, cleared out the creeps, and, well, it's going to be on I guess it really is going to be on Pycat just to be the tempo controller of this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's got like 2,000 gold lead right now on the SF. So he's definitely in a great position to push his advantage. Question is, how long do you really stay in lane? Do you wait out, Ryu, until you finish up your Yule Scepter, which allows you to have a lot more sustainability when it comes to mana, plus sets up your ganks a lot easier? Or do you think he should be moving around right now, every single time Laguna Blade's off cooldown?
There's two sides of that coin. One is I would wait for the runes. Most of the time you get invis, a haste, or a double damage, and you make a lot of things happen. But that's what he's going to be waiting for. This 10-minute rune that spawns in the next second is going to be the next key factor for me. He does have the TP on him, so if he does TP, he won't be able to really use Laguna. Well, he can because he'll get a full bottle charge after this. So as long as he just counter initiates too and comes in for the big play, he'll most likely get either 3 or 4 kills. So I think just farm mid, put more pressure on the Shadow Fiend, and just TP to counter gank is my play.
Let's see, we got an urn picked up by the Disruptor, bottle. Obviously, Yule's going to be picked up by Pycat eventually. What about the builds for the SF this game? Do you think this is one of those Yule Scepter games, or do you think a mech BKB build is better? What kind of aggression do you really think Power Rangers can best put out with the SF?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I would say since he's so far behind, I think he's going to go for a mechanism.
Okay.
And you already have the Naga to set up sleep ulti combination, so you technically don't need a Yules this game, but you can't get solo pickoffs. And when you're going to go for solo pickoffs, you can't do it against a Bristleback or a Lone Druid. So in my opinion, it's not going to be helpful at all. So I think rushing mech into BKB is probably the standard of this game.
Cheshire Cat comes in, wipes out some of that. Euphoric's going to be found here by Pycat and just run down with the Laguna Blade at hand. The Bear's going to be on the other side, but it's Pycat's kill. And Lone Druid, Loda is nice enough to go, you know what, I won't take that last hit with the Bear. I could have, but I'll just body block him and let you have all the glory since you did all the work.
Yep, that rune coming into play there, very sad. So there's the kill and maybe a return kill. They have a ward scouting out this for Timbersaw. If he walks into this,
stun is going to land. Cheshire Cat, no way out. So despite seeing the Lina there not so long ago, just automatically assumes that he went back to middle lane and ends up getting caught because of it. The aggression here in the top lane. Nikwa constantly asserting his dominance as the big tanky porcupine that he is. No one really wants to touch him.
I mean, they can't really even rotate. I guess you have to have Timbersaw rotate over, and then if he does that, then there's always the rotation for Pycat to come, but they don't know where he is right now. He's mid. He's showing that he doesn't have any mana right now, so this could be the go for top lane if they did send the Timbersaw and try to make something happen. They could sleep. Naga hasn't skilled up anything yet. This could be the play they really need.
Yeah, the TP in looks like they're going to do exactly what you want. As the glimpse back, they're going to catch out the Disruptor. The supports are coming in with a Shallow Grave, but it's not going to be in time. In fact, if anything, Ake might have just sealed his own fate. Earthshaker doesn't have a Fissure just yet. Another stun onto Ake. Fissure up in 1 second, but it's not in time. A killing spree now for Seneko, as he is part of the reason that Power Rangers are not actually that far behind in net worth or experience. He's quite ahead compared to most of the other supports. Almost has a full 1,000 gold on the next support, which is the Dazzle, sitting at 1,600. So his progression, his item progression, may actually be pretty decent, despite the fact that Power Rangers, you could tell from the cores at the very least, that they are losing out on the early game.
Oh yeah, when you have a Venge coupled with a Disruptor, that's the perfect scenario. It's like having an Earthshaker and the Dazzle on the other team too, where you want the Earthshaker to be getting the Blink Dagger fast, but in this case the Disruptor, he might be getting that fast Ags. What will it really cancel? It'll cancel the Lina Yules, and mostly
the inevitable BKB from the Bristleback, right? I mean,
true too.
Up against a Timbersaw, you kind of assume you're going to have to go BKB.
Yeah. I think BKB is probably third after Vanguard.
Yeah.
And then, well, no, he's got a Belder, so he's not even going Vanguard this game. He's just going Sanjin Yasha first. I think Sanjin Yasha is always a core item on Bristleback. Else it's really hard to run down the enemy. But not going a Vanguard. I don't know how I feel. I guess most of their damage is magical and pure, so
Dire's
Vanguard's
middle
not going to help
tower
out
is under
too
attack.
much.
Do you think a Pipe
Pycat.
is... Oh,
He's going to be dead here.
yeah, Pycat caught out. Nice pick off there, dominating for Seneko, man. This guy's getting all the kills. He is actually picking up the last hits on almost every single kill that he's been a part of so far. Cheshire Cat, meanwhile, really pushing this bottom lane as hard as he can. Just tower skipping, wiping out the creep wave, and giving the opportunity for the creeps to lay damage onto that tier 1 tower. You're going to know that Alliance are going to put in the same amount of aggression in the top lane. So Cheshire Cat really trying to buy as much time and space for his team by aggressively pushing out. Earthshaker's now going to TP in. Seneko is here, though, spotted out by the siege creep. And that probably means that Seneko's not going anywhere. He's going to lay down some aggressive vision and just TP out. Not a bad play. I really like that ward with Cheshire Cat pushing bottom so aggressively. That's a really nice ward to see rotations.
Yep, seeing just where Loda rotates in the jungle, see if he's farming there or if he's farming closer like he is now.
Right.
Really good. We saw Loda just pick up the Midas, so that's really good. I mean, he's going to need it to catch up in this game. And I don't know if it's going to be enough, because he's going to have to farm like a madman, because we're looking at this Naga already up to 3k gold. They're not putting any
Smoke
pressure
up.
on her right now.
J4's been found. Oh, no, the sleep. Do they have the ultimate? Oh, no, Disruptor.
8 seconds left.
8
That
seconds. They could still go on Pycat and blow him up potentially here with the, yeah, the SF comes in. Easy kill with Cheshire Cat now here as well. They actually swap back Ake, who's forced to Shallowgrave himself. The attempt at a TP, glimpse back, will actually keep him in place, but it means that Neequa will actually survive here. You would have loved to see a kill on Bristleback as well as the Dazzle, but the Disruptor had to make a choice. Stop the TP with Glimpse or get the Bristleback with Glimpse, and he chose the former.
Yeah, they were thinking they could maybe catch up to the Bristleback and get all 3, but if you would have the perfect scenario there, take it back, it'd be going for the Glimpse on the Bristle, but
right.
Hey, they're going to get this tower. They might have traded it for bottom and free farm for Loda, but as long as you're getting the kills and you're not letting your Naga die, that is all Power Rangers want right now.
Yeah.
And they're getting...
Ooh, and he got the last hit on the tower, too. Look at that, 300 gold, and he'll have a relic. Considering how bad of a start he had, like, running an aggro tri-lane, not really getting that much out of it, dying a few times. Middle lane, Disruptor actually does have the send back here on Pycat, waits a little bit longer, now sends him back, but it's a bit too late. The TP comes in, Laguna Blade right onto Seneko's face, but Cheshire Cat will force back the rest of the enemy team. Stun onto Pycat, but it's not going to do much more than that. So the 4 heroes middle from Power Rangers do keep everyone alive, but they do need to deal with the split push of bottom lane and also the top lane farming Bristleback. So just things to keep in mind. Timbersaw probably going to be going for a Bloodstone. Pretty typical build. Bloodstone's pretty much the be-all, end-all of core items on Timbersaw. It's only if you're really being shut down that you're forced to go into something else. But that being said, he may actually be shut down right here. You've got a Fisher set up. Pretty easy. Lugima stun and a nice pick off there from a Lion. A team you're not really expecting to group up as much as this.
Dire's top
But
tower is under attack.
4-man bottom lane does catch the Bristleback by surprise.
Really well played. Nice rotation. Here comes the relic though. She doesn't have a TP though, and Song is down, so they can put pressure on this tower. They know they have the about maybe like 30 or 40 more seconds. They'll probably think, but backing out now, not knowing where. They also have to be wary of the Venge swap and the send back. So always you have to go out. This is the game where you always have to go out as a team and make sure if you get glimpse back, you turn around immediately and you help your allies. So right now, Alliance playing team. Oh wow, Ake found the ward, man. I didn't even know he. Jeez.
Lodo is actually the one who pinged it out. He pinged it out like the about 5-10 seconds after it was placed from the Disruptor because he saw him TP away. I didn't think he saw there was no longer a ward on him. So that was just good awareness. They would have had it sooner, but swap goes down. Loda is going to be caught out here as they throw down the silence as well. Everything just to make sure that this bear does die. If they can get the bear too, oh, that would have been nice. If they had gotten the actual spirit bear and gotten the kill on Loda because of that, that would have been nice extra 300 gold for whatever hero snagged the last hit. But still, a good pickoff nonetheless, and continuing their aggressive wards being laid down. I mean, sure, this ward gets countered, but they just place another one not too far away. Knowing that they want to keep control of that jungle, it's considering Alliance are running just like Power Rangers, 3 different cores, you do need a decent amount of farm. They know there's plenty of opportunities. Matt's going to get sent back here. Glimpse into the Timber Saw with a lot of burst damage. Not quite enough to finish him off. Shallow Grave will be put on Matt, but it's the Ake who managed to get taken out. Echo Slam, turn around. Pycat, can he hit the stun? Oh, it's too late.
There it is.
Only clips J4. Now Pycat's going to go down as well. Nikwa comes in trying to help out his allies, but he's got to run himself away here. Glimpse is up, and Sineko, he just found another kill. Sends him back. And right into the SF ultimate. He may be able to get a kill because of the quills going out. In fact, he survives even. Not enough damage from Power Rangers. That Bristleback just too tanky, especially with the 17 magic wand charges he had there. Was able to heal himself up quite nicely.
A nice play by Mad trying to get the kill there. It's just Pycat was out of there. The mechanism was coming off cooldown there, so I don't think anybody could have gotten killed. It would have been really close, but this just shows you how kind of useless Lone Druid is in the metagame right now. If he doesn't come to the team fights, they're kind of screwed. And he's going Radiance himself on Loda here, and he's not going to have that. Like the Naga already has her Radiance.
Yeah.
So this is going to be way too late. And Alliance, they didn't get enough tempo controlling from Pycat in the earlier stages. I mean, they had an amazing start to the game, but this disruptor play has just been phenomenal for me.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't see it, but I can only presume he bought the recipe during that last death where he got ganked in the bottom lane. I can only presume that's why he would get the recipe first, and trying to go for the relic a bit later, is because he wanted to make sure he didn't lose too much gold off of that gank. Smoke up, 3-man smoke here. As they, well, they're going to be quite lucky. Pycat is actually invisible inside of their jungle. And that would have actually completely spoiled the smoke if they tried to go up. But Power Rangers are looking for something a lot more aggressive here. They want to wrap around behind this middle tower and catch out Nikwa, and they'll get him too. Nikwa, hey, you might have been really tanky and survived last fight, but this time around, not so lucky.
Matt,
yeah, they get him as well. Nice pickoff from Sineko. Another great glimpse from him. Results in a double kill for the U4X FN guy, and will be able to get the tier 1 tower on top of that. SF now climbing the net worth chart quite heavily. Look at that. He's going to be the first to hit the 10K marker at the 21-minute mark. Everyone, like, there's no outstanding farmer so far for anybody, but the SF, you kind of expect him to be ahead, even if he did have a bad early game because of Lena's aggression. SF is one of those heroes you can never shut down enough in the laning phase to keep him from climbing that net worth.
Yep. And we saw him go back for that Yule Scepter. So maybe he can even play even more aggressive here. Sell his bottle, go for a Blink Dagger, and then they'll have Blink setups for anything they want to do. There's a timing window. When Power Rangers are winning team fights 4v4 and you're trading a Lone Druid free farm for a Naga free farm, that's spelling doom for your whole team. So really well played so far from Power Rangers.
Yeah, they certainly recovered quite well from the laning phase mishaps. They did what they could to just kind of limit the advantage of Alliance by running that aggro. Tri-lane, I think, was a pretty good idea. They swapped it up after Cheshire Cat got a good amount of farm. I think if you left Cheshire Cat, basically left him to the wolves by putting him solo off lane, he would just be a non-factor for too long. So I like the fact they really put a lot of priority into his farm, knowing that him controlling the tempo of the game going in that 15 to 20, 25-minute marker is going to mean a lot of space for the Naga starting to farm up that Radiance. And even if she didn't have the Radiance just yet, I would say, like, Ditch Your Raw picked up a pretty fast Radiance for considering how poorly the early game went for Power Rangers. And I say poorly, but, if you looked at that net worth chart, I kept kind of like glancing at it every once in a while in the early game. It really wasn't that big. I felt like Alliance held a lot of control in the laning phase, but it was still, they weren't growing that much of an economic lead as much as I expected anyway.
Well, Naga did get free farm bottom lane. Shadowfiend got shut down, but then he just went back to the jungle and didn't farm creeps. That's what he does. And then they rotated top. Timbersaw might have died 1 or 2 times in the early game. When he went bottom, but then he just get that perfect rotation top. They get pickoffs, and they still didn't find a way to counter Ditya. So there's 2 smokes going on simultaneously. Now we'll see if either one finds him. I don't think this Earthshaker Lena is gonna find anybody right now.
No, they're just sitting here, waiting for somebody to come to them, apparently. But Power Rangers are heading up to the top lane, gunning for Niqua. And if they get this pick off, they'll probably take the Tier 2 as well. Or may just take the Tier 2 regardless. It's already down to 460 HP. So time to get that kind of surprise positioning where you just kind of overwhelm the creep wave real quickly, get on top of that tower, and Alliance won't be able to rotate fast enough, even with a glyph. It's just they're too out of position to defend this tower, and I think they don't want to anyway. They still don't have. Well, no, they actually have it now. The bear is running up to get that relic. If it doesn't die, it gets the relic, and now it's going to be swapped deck and killed. Rip. Rip Spirit Bear.
Floated doesn't have any boots on himself. I mean, 335 movement speed isn't too bad, so.
Yes.
It'd be just nice to see him just walking a little bit faster. He just looks so slow walking around.
Yeah.
Do.
Disruptor is actually halfway to his Aghanims, so they are they're actually looking pretty good on that support. Again, he's sitting at 5,400 net worth, well ahead of the other 3 supports in this game. 8K on the Bristleback. Niqua didn't have too many problems in the early game. He actually got sent back a couple times by the Timbersaw, but generally he was able to farm okay, but then he was just picked off so many times he hasn't actually been a part of a single kill yet. So his S and Y is just not doing as much work as he maybe anticipated, and now is going to require a BKB. That's where that next Ogre Club is going to be headed into.
I think the biggest problem in this game is that Ake's just been a little bit too far away for his graves. We saw it happen like twice already. His grave was only level 1 earlier, and he could have saved 2 people's lives. I don't think they would have maybe survived afterwards, but not having the grave instantly in team fights hurts them. And
whoa, Nagasarn actually picking out the Earthshaker there in the bottom lane. Wasn't expecting that one.
Wasn't expecting that one. Mid lane though.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep my lane. We know there's going to be a fight here. It's just the question is it Power Rangers just taking the Tier 2 straight up, or does Alliance actually battle them for it? It looks like they're going to kill the SF. That's just the Aegis. Swap in. Oh, nice pickup. Blowing up Ake. J4 will trade away his own life for that one, but to take away that healer, I think it's not a bad trade-off, considering how important that Shell Grave, especially when you're playing defense, can be.
Yeah, but they kind of traded away their Aegis there for nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They didn't get the Tier 2, and the Shadow Priest is already only level 7, so respawning already. Can't really go back into the team fight there. But still, Naga's just free farming away. That's just what they want to do. Making sure everybody has to come to defend. And what's Naga's next item? Yasha. So going for that Manta, or just farming faster just with the extra movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
And well, Pycat, you see him. He had to go for the BKB. Nico has to go for the BKB, and that is their game-changing setup. No longer will sleep work against them, and the Static Storm once the BKBs
right.
or the Ags is up. Then it's going to be a problem. These BKBs are going to be useless.
So the idea for Alliance here is just to sit back, try and farm up those last couple of BKBs. The Bristleback still needs his. They already have the Radiance on the Lone Druid, but whatever other items they can get on him. Digiroz actually just man-fighting the Spirit Bear.
Laguna here.
Yeah, he's dropping quite low. Unfortunately, Pycat just not quite fast enough. Tries to go on to J4 next. Actually does get that, but I'm not sure if he can actually go for the kill, as he's forced back by the illusions. In fact, the bear almost dies to the Radiance burn. But will survive for the time being. Cheshire Cat almost has an Aghanims. Look at that. He's already got the point booster and has another 2,400 gold. He could change his item progression and just have a value point booster for now, but I think with that much gold you're holding on to, you're looking at that Aghanims and want to try and get that extra bit of burst damage for yourself.
Yep, I agree. That could have been really bad for Alliance. I thought Lena was about to die, and so was Loader or someone else. Because all they had to do was pop Naga Siren Sleep, TP in the Shadow Fiend, and once that happens, the Lena doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so she can't get away. She can BKB, but they have net to cancel anything that she wants to do.
Right.
So, I don't know. That could have been an easy kill on Pycat, but maybe they just didn't know. They didn't want to risk just sleeping too early and going on only one target.
Yeah. I mean, they are, like, Power Rangers are definitely in good control of the game right now if they just kind of continue this line of thought. I mean, you do have to worry about the BKBs, as you said. That's going to be kind of a team fight changer for Alliance when they finish that one. Oh, jump in the middle lane. Cheshire Cat maybe popped her. No! Seneko with the quick static storm going to send Pycat back into the silence to make sure there's no Laguna Blade whatsoever. The swap now into Pycat. BKB activated, goes on to Seneko, but doesn't finish him off, and now gets right-click down. Shallow Grave that's actually going to save him. He'll finish off J4, but he will end up dying in the end.
Naga's going to kill Shadow Priest. Ake here. Oh, he did great.
Oh, and that's a gem on the ground as well.
Oh, man.
Oh, that is a big loss. So an Aghanim's finished up by Cheshire Cat, who gets his level 3 ultimate as well. And we now have a gem for Power Rangers. Things go quite poorly for Alliance as they try and get a pick off there in the middle lane. It wasn't a bad idea.
Fissure block from Mad, killing his teammate.
Yeah.
Oh, that just has to hurt.
Send back. Uh-oh.
Send back.
Bye-bye, Earthshaker. He's going to have to run his way back in. Meanwhile, Nikwa is going to take some damage. They don't actually go for it. It's surprising there. I thought they really would have pushed that advantage, especially with Lena down and the Earthshaker sent back. I thought they would have liked to continue to force some fights.
Jeez, this bear is just getting shredded right now. He's getting mauled himself. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
the bear needs a BKB though.
Yeah, no, right? In which case, that Aghanim's upgrade for the Disruptor, it's actually going to counter the bear as well.
Yep.
Any items you want on the bear that are activatable? Nope.
You know what you need? You need to get Mask of Madness so you can run out of the Static Storm fast enough.
You know, the Mask of Madness bear was something that when we occasionally did see the Lone Druid picked up in competitive play, it oftentimes was a very early Mask of Madness for the bear. Now, he's just now getting it. But do you think that's a mistake that he didn't go for the Mask of Madness earlier, which provides you a lot more kill power on the Lone Druid in those first early, like 20 to 30 minutes of the game? Or do you think, you know, going all in on kind of the later game build of Midas and Radiance was better?
I always think you have to get a Midas on Lone Druid. It's just one of the heroes you
Hold
need to have
up,
it on.
Cheshire Cat. Oh, he denies himself. Anyway, go ahead. So you should always get Midas on Lone Druid, but what about Radiance compared to maybe Mask of Madness, then Radiance?
It's a really tough call. I mean, this game, they really only have Loda.
Uh-oh. Swap into the Static Storm. Beautiful. Look at that. Teamwork right there. He knew the swap is going out, and he actually sends back Ake in the process. Middle lane, the SF does go down to the gang squad of Pycat, Mad, as well as Nikwa. So a 1-for-1 trade-off that I would put to the favor of Alliance simply because they're the ones behind right now. In fact, if you look at the recap there, it doesn't include the Lone Druid death, unfortunately. But that is a lot of gold exchange for just one kill. 2,000 gold exchange. And 3,000 experience picked up for that one kill. I'm betting that's worth more than the Lone Druid at this point.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That's their one hope in this game, though, is Lone Druid getting really big, though. And where Shadow Fiend is one of 3 heroes, because Timbersaw getting big is very significant. Him getting a BKB makes sure the Alliance can't do anything. Once Shadow Fiend gets a BKB,
right,
they do nothing. It's just a hard spot where they're at right now because... Yeah, they were supposed to be the ones getting fast BKBs, getting 2 or 3 Roshans here, and then going high ground on Power Rangers. But if they're doing it on the other side, you're not looking good for Alliance at all.
All right, that makes sense, actually. Since Lone Druid, I mean, at this point in time, there's only so much, especially when she's behind. I mean, net worth-wise, she's a bit behind the SF and the Naga Siren, but just generally the progression of this game, Lena's not in a very offensive position here, which as a, you know, kind of semi-carry going into late game with Aghanims and Scythe of Ice and those sort of items, you need to be ahead of the enemy. You need to always be able to have that gold lead on them, and so... the Lena's going to kind of fall by the wayside. She is trying to finish up that Aghanims, but at this point you want to already see Ags and trying to build into Scythe of Ice, but unfortunately Pycat, really just Alliance as a whole, hasn't been able to keep up in farm. 10-19, 32.5 minutes in. We've got a 12,000 gold lead for Power Rangers and a 8,000 experience lead. Looks like we may see aggression in this top lane. And jump in. Echo Slam, they're just going to waste all their nukes on the SF. A good pickoff. Well worth the heavy, heavy amount of commitment from Alliance using those double ultimates. Because, again, just trying to buy time, I suppose, for the Lone Druid. They can't really stop the Naga Siren from getting 6 slotted at this point. It's too late for that, as you were saying earlier. that Alliance were kind of supposed to be the ones controlling this game, getting those fast BKBs and taking the fight to PR. Now that they're already behind, they can do nothing but just try and stall this game up. Even if they don't have the better late game necessarily, it's their best option at this point.
Yeah, and they need to get a they need to get an MKB on the bear, as well as, what was the other item they needed? Oh, Mjolnir, just to deal with these illusions. If the bear doesn't get that in a reasonable timing, then we're going to be seeing Naga 6 slotted and going high ground, and they're not going to have anything to kill. Well, Bycat keeps on getting these pickoffs.
Yeah,
all
he
around
finds
the
another
map.
one in the top lane. J4 Yules into the stun. Laguna Blade was, especially with that pure damage, enough to kill the poor Vengeful Spirit who doesn't have that much HP. What other items do we see, though? We've got Earthshaker trying to build into a 4-staff. The BKB was finished up on Nikwa. Also now has that nice value vitality booster. I'm sure he was looking for a heart later on. I'm not sure if that's his next item or not. Normally we see, like, Bristlebacks. At this point in time, you were kind of talking about late game here. And I'm feeling like Power Rangers have better late game, 45 to maybe even 60 minutes in. But I'm actually not convinced that Power Rangers have the better late game. Past 60 minutes when Bristleback can get Assault Cuirass and as well as like an Abyssal Blade, and we have Loda who gets both heroes on his Lone Druid Bear as well as himself. Would you agree with that, or do you think Power Rangers actually still have better late game with the Naga Siren past the hour marker?
Yeah, I would say Power Rangers definitely have this game really late.
Okay.
Because the only reason why is because their supports are 10 times better, in my opinion. You have Venge Swap to save anybody. You have the Naga Siren to save anybody, the sleep. You also have the Disruptor, most likely going for a Blink here. He's going to be insanely rich. He could have a Sheep or a Refresher later stages of the game. The Ags on the Disruptor is just the biggest factor too. You just can't count it out. It just cancels too many items, and you can make too many big plays.
Okay.
And it's just, Shadow Fiend keeps dying because he didn't have the BKBs. And that's his biggest problem right now this game. But now that Lena has her Ags, that's going to be another downside to Shadow Fiend, but still, it's not going to be helping really kill this Naga right now who just picked up a heart.
Smoke up and Alliance. I thought they were actually going to do a wraparound here, but it looks like they're just going to straight up try and force the fight. The swap on Aniqua, Static Storm being laid down, and that's already going to cut the fight. Oh, what an Echo Slam! Mad hits 3! Big time, nice man to dodge there, the Fisher, and Mad's going to try and get himself out. The Naga Siren sleep. They only took out the Venge. Euforks actually had his BKB up. This leaves him exposed. The Naga Siren sleep actually goes down. Aniqua still trying to go for that kill, but unfortunately, Chakrams, no! Nice save there with the Shallow Grave on the right side. Ditchira no longer having that ultimate to depend upon. He's running himself away farther on the left. Shitcher Cat's actually coming back into play. Trying to get Ake sent back. Misses that Chakram, but Nikwa is going to be cleaned up by the secondary one. Shitcher Cat will end up dying. Sneko on the run here as poor Ake gets run down by Illusion. Sneko, oh, that was a very optimistic play, my friend. He will get wiped out as well. And man, Power Rangers just got a big win in that team fight, or sorry, Alliance rather, got a big win in that team fight because of that gigantic initiation from Mad. That was a beautiful Echo Slam setup.
Yeah, and kind of a big misplay coming in from Disruptor. They're not casting the Static Storm and Kinetic Field once the Venge immediately stunned, making sure that Nico could cast his BKB instantly, just walking out. That was a big play too, and yeah, Mad doing that. Them not having a BKB on Timbersaw or Shadow Fiend just shows you, yeah, you have to be wary of this Earthshaker all the time now. And, well, they still didn't get the Aegis on Naga. And how
J4.
much longer? Oh, it just ended. Oh,
Bye-bye, J4. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
painful.
Who needs Dragon Slave? Not required. Not required at all. Not for Pycat anyway. And at this rate, he's going to have that Scythe of Ice that we were talking about. The kind of like semi-carry, late-game Lena. Off of that team fight and the number of pickoffs that they found with Pycat, he actually now has 4,500 gold. He could get the Scythe of Ice next if he wants to.
Yep. The biggest problem is going to be when, yeah, you're going to need to get a Scythe just to clear out these Naga illusions, it feels,
Yeah.
or something. Because she's going to have a Butterfly. I think that's going to be her next item really soon.
Oh, dear.
And how do they even kill her when she has that, in my opinion? I don't know. This bear, though.
Too bad you
pretty
can't
funny
glimpse
to
the
see.
bear. Actually, may lose control of it. The ensnare's coming out, but it's juking and jiving
Radiance.
through the trees, and the ensnare,
Oh,
no!
no.
Oh, the bear gets away to safety. There's nothing they can do. It's just too fast. They can't glimpse it, so what do you do?
The biggest hope right now is what fucking Mad is doing right now. He's got a 4-staff. This is what this team needs. Mass mobility. But, I mean, Ake's really poor. He's not going to be having any items. 0 and 6. And if you just look at his inventory, it's very... I'm not even going to say... I'm going to say appalling, but... it's just too nice of a word right now.
All right, the push top. Cheshire Cat is going to be spotted out here. Echo Slam straight up. Hey, no survival here for Cheshire Cat. They don't give him the opportunity to commit seppuku at all. They just straight up like chain stun him. No Yules into attempted stun. No Bloodstone save whatsoever. Meanwhile, though, they do got to come back to base because there's a push out from Power Rangers. Or maybe it's the other way around. Power Rangers are the ones actually going to be TPing back. It's kind of a 50-50 exchange here. Both teams want to push. Oh! That's the danger, though, of trying to split like that. The glimpse is always going to catch you out. Now Loda's stuck, and Loda will die.
Yeah. Nice play. They have swap, too. The blink onto the high ground is kind of funny there.
Unable to get anybody. 17-22 this game. Actually, look at that climb up. Ever since that one team fight, Alliance have been gaining a bit of control back over the net worth board, only about an 8,000 gold lead, and Alliance actually ahead in experience for the first time since the 10-minute marker.
Well, this is the go time. I would say Cheshire Cat kind of letting go his lead. I mean, he hasn't really progressed at all since the Ags. He's had this plate mail for about 10 minutes, it feels like. They're going to try to make Loda buy back here, and they still have Naga Siren.
Loda, oh, nice swap into Nikwa. Nice control there. No BKB for him whatsoever. Beautiful play. The buyback there from Loda. As long as they don't get caught. Oh, Gage being run down by illusions. Poor guy. He actually, I believe, is dead. Oh, God. Trying to get it to the heal. He'll be okay. Back over to the fight. Saneko's going to be taken out. D2CL. Too slow, my friend. Couldn't get off that ultimate in time. Yeah, it's true. Now, D2CL may actually not get out of here. Pycat's trying to keep up. Do they see him? Nope, they won't get him in time.
No.
Oh, so unfortunate there. Nice jump away. They will catch J4. The Timber Chain TP from the Timber Saw does get him out, but J4 not as lucky. And
that was really weird. Ake didn't shallow grave there. That was kind of a misplay in my eyes. But now it's going the other way. 2 supports are down, though. And how many buybacks were used? Only 1 on Loda. No, 2 on Bristleback. So they're not even going to have item progression. And when you don't have item progression against a Naga, that's not the way to go. So it's going to be on Pycat and Mad to really carry these team fights right now. And hopefully Loda and Equal can, really step up their farm right now. They really need to get some items.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that current gold, and when you've got Earthshaker on top for the Radiant side, that's just not good. I mean, I love Earthshaker, but what's he going to do, really, that's that effective past 4-staff? It's not nearly the same amount of worth as it would be on someone like Nikwa. Bear gets used up, but no attempted go from Power Rangers. They just want to make sure that Alliance can't lay claim to that Roshan. Aegis and cheese is what it is. It's the 3rd Roshan of the game. Smoke up, and Power Rangers actually sneak inside. And I'm not sure that Alliance, even if they knew this was happening, that they would try and go for the fight. It seems like they're pretty skittish and just want to play defense for the most part.
Yeah, the biggest thing about Naga Siren is you could just cast the ulti and just kill the BKB target. That's another big play that we haven't really talked about this game. So if you do that, and you're fighting a 2v5 situation when you cast the BKB on Lena and Bristle, good luck. Good luck winning the team fights here. So.
Nahaz just sent me a stat there, Ryu. He said that Naga Siren is 32-14 from the 40 to 60 minute mark, but is only 1-4 past 60 minutes. So, and then we combine that with the stat earlier from Cart about the Bristleback late game. Showing his strength. Now, I like what you said is spot on about the supports, though. Late game made a lot of sense, and I do agree with you that late game, the power of Power Rangers supports, especially that Disruptor Ags. There's just so many potential for big plays, as you said. Like, there's so many saving mechanisms that they have through swap. There's the initiation factor of the Naga Siren. If they lay down a Naga Siren sleep into a Disruptor Ags, they catch like 2 or 3 heroes, like that fight's over, just straight up. There's no saving it.
I agree wholeheartedly. It's just the biggest problem right now is Timber and Shadow Fiend don't have a BKB, so they can't really go high ground. I mean, I don't fault them too much, but you saw what Earthshaker can do if you don't have the BKB in team fights. But Shadow Fiend picking up a Cuirass, and he's still got the Aegis here. So I do agree, not having a BKB in this situation is amazing because you have the Aegis, you have 2 lives, and if they initiate on you, you always have the counter. Oh, here's the
Ooh,
play.
what are they going to go for here? They can get the 2, Loda and Nikwa. Yeah, that's what they want right there, controlling both of those heroes. Nikwa, whoa, Shalgrave is going to save it for the time being, but it seems like Loda, there's no saving him. Dichiraz actually, no, he eats the cheese just in time. Pycat unable to finish off that carry. Aegis being laid down. Good Echo Slam from Mad, gets 2, but it's still just the Aegis for the SF, and these Timbers
They don't
saw.
have buybacks on Nikwa or Loda.
Oh god, this game's over
legit.
straight up. They do not have any buybacks whatsoever. This game is over.
Pycat's in trouble too. Netted. Oh, he's
Yeah,
going
he's-
down 2, maybe.
Mad can't really save him. So that's it. He's down for a minute and a half. Mad is going to go down a second time as well, and that is the whole entire team now out of
Just
commission.
go for the throne. Yep.
Yep. So Power Rangers taking game number 1 here in this 45-minute slugfest.
Tower has fallen.
Quite the, I would say, quite the fun little match. I think there was a lot of go back and forth between the 2 teams. I think, what would you say the biggest failure of Alliance was? Did they not take the laning phase as hard as they should have? Was some of the rotations off? What really prevented Alliance from taking control of the mid game, as we kind of theorized they should have? Was it just a lone druid pick?
I think it was Lone Druid and him going for the Midas early game, like what Cart said about you normally don't see Midas at all into Radiance because if you're playing the same style as a Naga, you're gonna lose. So maybe if he had went for the Maelstrom, joined the team fights early, they could have put enough pressure in 5v5, and that could have been the key factor. But they didn't put enough pressure on Naga. They really tried. They had Mad and Ake trying to do it, but with these really passive supports, you're looking to counter initiate, and when you only have Pycat to really do the heavy lifting in the early game with him initiating, I mean, it just wasn't really enough. So I would like to see them probably 5-man more and just try to get more done and just go at these towers. And if you even do some trades here and there, it's better. If you do maybe 1 tier 1 for 2 towers, it's still worth it in my opinion for Alliance. They just really needed to get that early Roshan going and get that really early aggression going out.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with game number 2 of Power Rangers versus Alliance.